when we interviewed Ari Spears, he said some stuff that was kind of controversial.
Dave Chappelle, black people knew him, but they didn't know him. And they really didn't know him until the Chappelle show. Dave's following has always been predominantly white until the explosion of the Chappelle show, which then captured everybody.
Would you agree?
Yeah. But that ain't their fault. That's how the game is played. Dave Chappelle started off in mainstreams. It wasn't no real black comedy club, and then the black comedy clubs it was everything black got to be almost dangerous, like the Apollo. They booing children off stage, and so we didn't have the platform. And then Def Comedy Jam, if you didn't come with it, he ate it. Just they waiting for you to fail so much. Because my Def Comedy Jam, I did it one time, and I killed. I got a standing ovation. I did something nobody ever had done. But I agree, Dave Chappelle wouldn't have been known by black people till he did his show, and then he was such a mainstream comic. It was, and in New York is such an entity too. New York is a city, a world in itself. So he was from D.C., but he went to New York, and that's where he was working his craft. He was a young kid, and then we didn't know him, man. But I've heard about him being a comedian myself. I was still young. Oh, this guy young. He's a kid. Dave Chappelle. He's great. And, I said, well, I'd probably see him later. Cause I never ran into him. But when he had his show, yes, because and the reason why we gravitated to him because there wasn't that many other black shows on that were black shows. They tried, In Living Color was up, and then that was one thing. Cause like you forgot about Damon Wayans. I mean, his first shit, oh my God, Damon Wayans, man.
Oh yeah.
And he did some controversial stuff like, they give you money, they give you all that money, and then they want to ask you that question. He said, you got $30 million. Let me ask you a question. Is there racism in America? He like, no, sir. I don't think it's no racism in America. No, I've never seen it. No. Thank you very much, ma'am. He went into that. And that's true. Because a lot, you see it out here now during this whole Black Lives Matter thing and all the police brutality and stuff. They let you know, that money and Lil Wayne, and people got mad at Lil Wayne. But we got to understand Lil Wayne's era and his mentality. He was a skateboard kid. He younger. He couldn't really see it. He came up fatherless, and then everybody that love him is young little white kids and all this stuff and the whole mannerism. Because I think black people, we want our people to make it, but then we got such hate in ourselves sometimes that we can't wait to hear you fall though. Just like Faison Love today. Ooh, that shit big news. But I was mad because he beat up on a young black kid. And why two black people going at it like that? And I mean, he was too big to beat up on that kid. I'm sorry, I don't know.
Oh, yeah. He beat the shit out of him, boy.
First of all, come on, man. Wait, now Faison got away in his 400s. I know he.
Yeah.
And I mean,
yeah.
it was.
He threw him around like a rag doll.
Oh my God! I was like, that looked like when animals attack. It was almost like somebody let a silverback out. I was like, gee, is this a trailer from Kong Island? I was like, man, and then like, but I felt sorry for that kid because I'm glad I got my son studying martial arts and stuff, and and my wife studied too, because the thing about it is people shouldn't invade your personal space, and if that kid knew martial arts, he wouldn't have let that big son of a bitch get up on him like that. Somebody get up on you like that, you get yourself some running room or some ass kicking room or get you something where you gonna put his ass to sleep, because if he can't catch you. Yeah. He ain't gonna get you because he was too close to you. I'm a big guy, but I be damned if I let another big son of a bitch come up close to me. He come up on me. Either I'm kicking your knees out, I'm taking your balls out. I'm gonna fuck you up first before I ain't gonna lick it. Because I mean, he threw that little boy around like I was like, is that a child? It didn't even look like an adult. He threw this little, and the dude probably was surprised how much he was getting tossed around, and I give him love for trying to fight back at the end, but it was just like it was too late. It was too late, dude. I mean, and then Faison, it was almost he looked like he had turned into an animal for a minute, but when the people came over, you could see him like, Hawk, sorry, you know, and I was just like, oh my God, I mean. You know, but that whole attack on each other, because I know if that was a little white kid, he wouldn't win at him like that because he knew it would have been a little more trouble. Your ass would have been locked up. But if I just feel sorry for that brother. If that brother gonna sue the shit out of Faison, I know I'm at work getting my ass kicked at work. I'm a valet driver, and you in movies, you son of a bitch. I'm gonna sue the shit out of you. That's why I mean I got a short tip. That's why I walk away from people. I ain't gonna get no confrontation. Words he said the kid spit on him, but I didn't see I didn't see where the spit came. I seen when he was talking shit and a giant monster came over there and ate him alive. And I mean, it was fucked up because everybody was working there looking like, oh shit, what happened? And somebody said in the comments, was that his wheelchair? Was that Faison's wheelchair? Because when the guy rolled up in the wheelchair, I said, nah, I know he wasn't getting no wheelchair and beating the shit out of somebody. Right. I think that when I'm talking about that hate, that I don't know if it's hate or what, but that's why, like Ari said, he ain't lying. You didn't know about him. I knew about Dave Chappelle, but we didn't get into him until then. We really didn't become him because he was selling out. White fans was loving him.
Oh yeah, no, I think "Killing Me Softly" that was one of my favorite all-time stand-ups.
Oh man!
So I had been so into that when the Chappelle show hit, I was like, oh, this is great. This is more of the same. Like, right. You know what I mean? But I'm once again a white kid, you know, a suburban white kid listening to this stuff. Like, I had been up on it already, right. And that was I think Ari's point.
Yeah. And that's what I agree. I agree with him totally. I mean, you know, because I'm gonna just say this, you know, being a stand-up, I was on BET and Def Jam. I done all the black stuff, and I got my black audience, but black people, we so temperamental. It's like, what you done for me lately? Like people, when you gonna do another special? And it's special hot, you know. But when you gonna do it, they don't understand it costs money, you know. But still, you gotta force feed our people sometimes because if media, even the celebrities, they have their little clique. Like Kevin Hart, them, they have their little clique. Ice Cube, them have their little clique. Where you know somebody funny, you got talented people out here that you can pick from. But you don't put them in your movies. You know they out here. You see they ass. But you wait till they ass become famous before you even fuck with them. You know, and that's why I look at like even like Chris Rock, then he'll help out a certain few, but he ain't gonna help out everybody that's out here. Or just, hey man, why don't you be a part of this? Or let me get your comedy input. You don't, when he fall off, I'll probably be on his radar. You know what I'm saying? And that's the problem that I look at. That's what Ari's saying too, because you look at you look at anybody out there. They try to like I did Adam Sandler. Adam Sandler put me in this movie Ridiculous 6. I didn't even know that he was a fan. He told me he was a fan, and it was love. He put me in Ridiculous 6, and I was so honored because I said I wanted to be a black Adam Sandler. I wanted to get movies and put all my friends in them and just rotate them in movies, and so they can have a movie career, you know, because it's hard to get them in, you know. But we don't do that. Even if they did one movie, they keep the same characters, but they ain't your friends, you know. And the weird thing about it is I've done more mainstream or white stuff. Breaking Bad. Mm-hmm. I was on Breaking Bad for 2 seasons. I got called up for that faster than I get called up for a Friday after next before any of that. And I would have loved to have been in a Friday or one of those shows like that, one of the movies. I got called up to do the crazy ones with Robin Williams. I get Rebel Wilson show, Super Fun Night, Always Fun, Sunny in Philadelphia. I done America Ultra with Kristen Stewart. I'm doing movies with people. John Landis' son was a fan, which is crazy. I'm in these movies mainstream. It's great. I appreciate it. I wouldn't take it for, like Mike and Dave Needs Wedding Day. These movies black folks wouldn't even go see. Then I finally get in a black movie like Meet the Blacks. And it was with where I had a part in that. And then I did a Medea movie, which I was honored to do it. But the thing about it is we are not even on our own radar to a point where I'm getting in these movies with them, and now that I'm getting accepted with them, then you want to put me in your movie, which is, I don't know why that is.